Okay, there's one time a year when you can get Hatch chili peppers fresh, and that time is now, August. Whole Central Market in the Dallas area will have their Hatch Chili Fest the next couple of weeks. But I went there to do a little bit of reconnaissance, of course. This is just checking out the scene, and they had them available already. But next week they'll have the roasters, and oh, it smells so good. But anyway, I have some really good friends in San Diego. Da 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 da, Hatch chili peppers, da da da, boo 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 boo, yeah yeah yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna make some chile rellenos because when we lived in New Mexico, we used to go and have chile rellenos all the time. So I'm gonna try to make these and take you through how I do it, and it's as close as possible that I can get it to Comedor de Julio, which is now closed in New Mexico, but it was back in the late 80s. So anyway, Hatch chili, woohoo!
One of the first things you want to do is get the skin off these chili peppers. So rather than put them under the broiler, which you can do, I'm putting them out on the grill. Actually, they get that nice charcoal roasty type flavor too. I'll turn them and then I'll put them in the paper towel with the towel, and then put them in the bag and let them really just steam for about 15 to 20 minutes or longer until you're ready to peel and use them. So I'll be turning these in a second. Okay, I kind of rearranged them a little bit, but as you can see, they're really roasting nicely. Very, very good. And it doesn't take long. You know, what you want to do is that's a good amount of roast right there. Just going to do the other side, and I'm going to take it off. Okay, so I'm just going to take that. It's hot. It's really hot. And wrap that up and put it in the bag. While the peppers are steaming in the towel, so I can get those peels off, I'm going to make the sauce. Now what I do to make the sauce, I don't put a lot to make my relleno sauce. This is just a little salsa that goes, you can put it over the top, and what you'll see is I put it off to the side, and you'll see why later. But this is my last onion from my garden. Oh, I love fresh garden onions. I'm doing more. The other thing is I use the Progresso crushed tomatoes. And the reason why I use the Progresso crushed tomatoes, it's you can kind of see on it's a loose crushed. It's not the finely crushed like the Cento is. Cento is good for Italian sauce, but I use just a little bit of the Hatch enchilada sauce. It's really tasty. I got the fire roasted tomato. The 99-cent store sold this for like literally 99 cents. You go into Central Market, they want like $3 for it, so it's the same stuff. So I just use a little bit of that, and then I found this, so I thought I'd put a little bit of that in there, and of course my garlic from the garden too. I don't want to take away from the flavor of that Hatch chili, so this is a very light, basic salsa relleno sauce to put on top. So we're going to make that. I have to just stop and tell you, these onions are still so fresh, and I think I picked these a couple of months ago. And for sweet onions, you know, I hear, oh, sweet onions don't store too well. Hey, I'm happy they stored this long. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, I'm really impressed with these. These were the Gran X, aka Vidalia, but you can't say Vidalia. While the onions are sauteing, I wanted to show you the cheese. I hate this part, cutting these strips of cheese to stuff the chilies with, but this Quesos Juanitas, Queso Quesadilla, it's the melting cheese. This is really good, and the only place I can find it is in Fiesta. Fresh crushed garlic, and the onions are sauteing. I put the garlic in, about 6 or 7 minutes after the onions started to saute, so the garlic didn't start to burn. put the sauce in, and then I'm only using a half. That's just my little buzzer reminding me. A little bit. This has a little bit of it's an enchilada sauce. It's got a little flavor to it. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want that flavor to overpower this sauce. It's a delicate kind of sauce. It has to taste just so. And then I'm just mixing it and let that cook up. Okay, so we're going to unroll our peppers. We'll see what they look like. Ah, very good. That's nice. They are hot. But see, they got nice and steamed in there. They're really hot. Wow. Oh, they smell so good. Okay, and then, wow, they're hot. Then what you do is you just take the peels right off. See how they just come right off? They're just really hot. I can't touch them right now. But look how easy it comes right off. Be careful, I'm making rellenos, so I want to keep them as whole as possible. I don't want to make any holes in them because there's a specific spot that I cut. I make a little slit to stuff the pepper, but for right now I'm just keeping them as intact as possible. Okay, so here are my strips of cheese. Okay, you don't want them cut too thick. See, I think I might even cut that down a little bit, but just strips of cheese. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little slit in here. Not too long because I want to minimize the chance of the cheese melting out. Really, it tends not to do that, but I just don't want to, see, and then just kind of stick it down in there. Don't overstuff these. You don't need a lot of cheese in these, really. Like this is a very nice melting cheese, and the texture of the cheese, it's perfect. Okay, I'm just taking a peek at this. See, it's nice consistency. And I like the onions just like that. So then you get a little piece of onion. Anyway, that's looking really good. So I am going to put that off to the side. And now let's get our tempura ready and fry up the chili rellenos. I want to talk about tempura. This is the tempura that I'll be using. Don't use the Kikkoman. The Kikkoman is too cakey. Now maybe if I really watered it down, it would be okay. But the Kikkoman is too cakey. If you look on the box here, see how it's nice and it's almost translucent. It's a nice thin translucent coating, and that's what we're going to try for. And it's not hard to do. Just use ice water and put some of this in till really it's got to be nice and runny. Here's how I do it. I use one of these tin loaf pan things. I know it looks really beat up, but that's okay. Because, you know, when you're dipping, see how nicely that's going to go? So you put some of your ice water in there. Just so it doesn't stick at the bottom. And then mix some of this in. And I'm just going to mix this and get this to a fairly runny consistency. It's kind of hard working around a tripod. And you don't have to over mix tempura. If it has lumps in it, it's okay. But yeah, see, there's an ice cube in it. That's all right. And I'm going to add a little bit more. That's a little too runny. Oops, I made a mess. Yeah, that's better. Yep, okay. See, so that's about the kind of consistency that you want. I'm waiting for my oil to heat up. And while we wait, I'll go ahead and put one of these rellenos in here. Just dip it, and that's why you want the stem. There you go. See, so you're just getting a nice, loose, light coating on there, and just let it drip a little bit. And actually, I'm going to just let it sit there until the oil's ready. Let's turn this around this way. So, like I said, I'm going to let that drip off so it's not a thick coating. And then, boom. Okay, I'm going to do a bunch of those. I'm going to shut the camera off. So here they are, and then I just have one more to add in there. Of course, I can't fit it. That's okay. But as you can see that nice, just a thin coating. And then I will cook these up until they're golden brown. And then I'll just put them on a little paper towel to drain real quick. And here are the finished chili rellenos. Let me put one up. See, look at the cheese. It's a beautiful, beautiful cheese. It's not lumpy. It's not too heavy. And now you'll see why I don't put all my sauce all over it, because it's so nicely, gently crispy. I don't want to mess with that. I just individually put the salsa on it, a little at a time. There, just like that. I can't talk right now, I gotta go. But first, a message, excuse me, first a message to my friends in San Diego. So, I hope you liked the recipe, and I do have more chilies that I have to roast, and we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Hatch chili nachos with shrimp. Really good. You could put Hatch chili on a burger. Of course, make your own salsa with Hatch chili with fajitas. Anything goes with Hatch chilies. Okay, bye-bye.